So yes, hello everybody. Shall we start by introducing ourselves? I'm not sure we've all actually met. Jyotsna, will you start?
I am Jyotsna, and I've been running since I was a baby, I would say. And yeah, I love adventure sports, and I'm a person who's always out. I really love outdoors. So yeah, that's it. That's it about me. And yeah, I'm just so excited to to you guys because I've heard so much about all of you. I've met Swati and I'm like really love her. Like she's the boss lady for me. And yes, I'm
Oh.
excited about meeting Reeti ma'am and Christine ma'am. So yeah, that's it.
I'm Swati. I'm a lawyer. I'm a mother, as Doc said. So I don't know if that's a part of my introduction. And I'm a very enthusiastic runner. I love running. I'm not a speedster like VP here or Joe here, right? But yes, the only thing I can give myself is that I've been consistent in last 10 years. Not by Joe's standards, but by my standards, yes. And so I'm really looking forward to this discussion because Christine, of course, like I said, big fan of yours. VP, I don't know if you recall, but on Instagram, we've chatted a couple of times when I bothered you with a few questions,
It's
right?
not a bother.
And
It's a pleasure.
yeah, and thank you. And Joe, of course, I met her at La Ultra in 2019, and she's a sweet kid, as I call her. And she's also training me these days. So Doc's made her in charge of my training. She's my coach these days. So looking forward to this discussion. It's because of you that I registered for my first full marathon. I remember you had turned 40 when you signed up for your first full,
Yes.
right? And that's when I noted, and I've been following on Instagram, of course, and that's when I noted, I said, listen, hey, age has nothing to do with this. If she can do this at 40, and I think you did it in a very good timing. I mean, I recall that it was sub 3 or approximately 3 is what
Sub
I,
four, sub four, not
sub 4. Yeah, yeah, okay, 4. Yeah, it was sub 4. And I was like, wow, if she can, I can at least sign up, right? And that's when I got a lot of motivation from. So, yeah, thank you.
so glad. More power to you.
Thanks.
All right. Hi, my name is Reeti Sahai. I'm a 4G brat, raised and traveled through the length and breadth of the country and been running long distance for the last 11 years. Was more into half marathons until I turned 40. Started running marathons since I turned 40, been 3 years of that. I've run 3 world majors. I'm an avid trekker, a complete outdoor person, actually. I derive my energy from the outer world. A dog mom, and also currently pursuing my certification as a marathon running coach. Also started a running club or a community recently. It's called Run with Reeti. Yeah, and I run for the love of running. That's just a little bit about myself. Happy to be here with all you lovely ladies sharing the same panel. Look forward to fun. I started running very late in my life. I started with Doc. He's the one who got me into this whole wonderful running world. I am the slowest runner on planet Earth, but for me, it's been a complete game changer. It's just changed everything for the better. And I thought perhaps we could talk about that a little bit. How has running changed you, ladies?
I am told, I'll start there. I am told I'm a happier person the day I go and run. If I'm not in a good mood, I'm told to go and work out. Right? Yeah, so it has changed me. It's kind of given me my space, it's given me confidence, it makes me feel good, even not just internally, but it's given me more confidence about my physical fitness. So I think it just adds, it's really changed my life. And I don't know, I'm not as good a runner as they think me to be. So it's somewhere, I don't know, my reputation as a runner has surprised people more than as a lawyer, it seems these days. Right. So that's why I say it's really changed my life.
For me, I think running has given me something that nothing ever could or did. And it's a lot is tangible, a lot is intangible. There's so much I can put my finger on and so much I can't put a finger on. But I'm definitely happier, like Swati said today. Again, I operate in my happy space because I do find time to run, which is also my happy space. And, similarly, when I go to work and I'm in a bad mood or I'm a little crabby, somebody will find courage and come near me and just whisper in my ear and say, "Aaj bhage nahi the na, man. Bhag ke aa jao na." So they know that this girl will go do a 5K or a 10K or whatever the distance, but she needs to get out there, get that fresh air, get that time for herself, and she'll feel, she'll be back to being awesome. So yeah, I guess running has given me, it's changed my life. The other thing that I'd like to talk about is, it's given me balance and moderation, which I thought I lacked in life. So there were extremes in my life before I started running. I guess because of the discipline and the consistency that running demands, and one gets to it somewhere. It's not that I don't party, it's not that I don't drink, I do all of that, but in moderation. I know when to stop, I know when to go to bed, I know I need my 8 hours. So it's taught me moderation, it's taught me balance. So yeah, I guess there's just tons that running has given me. I can just go on and on about it.
And all positive, right? All positive.
All positives. All, I don't know. You need to ask my husband what the negatives are, because I'm never home.
Yes. Yeah, I get that.
I'm sure he has nothing to complain. I'm sure he's getting his space.
Yeah, of course. I'm just kidding. Of course. He's a golfer too. So, he's out, I'm out, we're all out. Yeah.
So about me, like I told you that I've been running since my childhood. I've been a very lucky kid. I mean, my father has been a marathon runner and all that stuff. So while growing up, I've seen him running, and I have seen him winning. I've seen him teaching people how to run because he was a coach for 20 years. And the best part was that I wasn't ever told that, I have to be a marathon finisher or a runner someday. I was always told that, this is something that is very important. So you get up, you drink water, and you go up. So that was the concept of my morning. Okay. So when I used to go to the school and I used to see other kids not tired, nothing, they're lazy, I used to be like, what is this? I used to think that everyone in the morning is out for running, right? This is something that everyone has to do. But yeah, it wasn't like that. And yeah, and then I started realizing that this is something that I really, really like. And running was never forced to me. It was just something that I had in me, and I was just loving it. And with running, when I started going out, I understood that I like different things. It's not something that I just want to run all the time. I do get irritated at times, and being a teenager, like, so it was irritating also at times that your father is waking up you at 4 and everything. So it was like irritating also. So moderations, like going for mountaineering, going for paragliding and stuff. So yeah, it's all running. So one thing that my father always tells me that running is the ABCD of anything that you're doing in your life, right? If you're running, you're living. So yeah, that's what running is for me. Similarly, if I don't go out for a run in the morning, I am the laziest, the crankiest person ever. I have anger issues, and running is the only thing that can save me from that and other people from me. So yeah, I love running. Yeah.
I was just going to add the last bit and save other people from you. Please keep running, Joe.
And
How do you ladies manage to balance everything? Running, families, careers, professional life? How do you juggle it all? Is it a balancing act?
I think it is, but like Preeti said, we learn to do things in moderation. And I think running brings in that discipline that you need for any role, be it as a lawyer, be it as a mother, be it as a daughter. All of us play those multiple roles, and running brings that discipline. It brings that self control. I think the beauty of long distance running is to find your own pace and not get carried away with with Riti doing a 4:30 per minute, right? Christine doing a 7:30. I have to find my own space, my own pace. And that's what we start imbibing in life as well. Somewhere being happy in your own, at your own pace, yet improving every day and, working hard to improve every day. So, yes, juggling is there. The toughest part I feel about juggling these roles is early mornings and saying no to Saturday nights and Friday nights, right? Because unless you're doing it yourself, you don't understand the meaning of a no, I want to sleep at 10 p.m. on a Saturday night, right? Like my partner, like, if the person's a rider or something, then they will wake up for riding. But to wake up at 4 for a run is something that, you can't think of. So similarly, I feel the toughest part is calling those shots and not having the shots before sleeping on a Saturday night and on a Friday night. That's been the toughest part.
Yeah.
Time. Then another thing I find positive about running is this is the only activity which gets done before the family wakes up. So you're not really, you might be a little low on energy when you come back home because you've done a 20, 25, 30, depending on the distance. But yes, as far time is concerned, we have enough time, right? So juggling is difficult only for the night prior, not for the mornings, I feel.
I guess so. I'll talk about when I went for my first trek ever, which was eons ago. I remember everybody losing it at me and saying, "How can you just write off for 15 days without connectivity? We'll not be able to do this." Whether it was people at home, my parents, or my work employees, and they said, "Ma'am, what if there's an emergency? We're so used to calling you." I said, "Never mind. You need to find your own solutions. I could be unreachable or whatever. So I guess that whole mindset of saying that we're indispensable. And you won't believe I went for this trek for 50. I wanted it really, really bad. So I found time, I convinced and talked everybody through it. And I said, listen, I'm going. Let's see what happens. Yeah. I came back in 15 days. I called them the minute I had connectivity, and everybody was like, oh, 15 days are over. So there you go. You all survived, right? So when you want something bad, you find a way to do it. You know what I mean? So running is something that is life, is happiness, is like breathing. So I find time for running. I mean, there are times I actually go for a run in between work. There are times I go after a hard day because I'm feeling terrible about the day. I mean, mostly, of course, I wake up in the morning and go and run. But yeah, I guess there are days that, when I want to pull my hair and say, how can I manage all these three things, running a home, being a dog mom. I also volunteer a lot in the animal welfare. So that also takes a lot of my time. Plus, of course, work. But, I guess one just finds time. So there are times you multitask. I make a lot of my calls when I'm commuting from my house to work. So there are times I'm taking online classes. So I guess one just finds a way to do it. There are days I will obviously give work priority depending on what issue is at stake, and vice versa. So you just prioritize. I before I go to bed each day, I actually make a list of things to do for the next day. So I just prioritize or plan my day when it comes to animal welfare. 2 hours here, running will take 3 hours. It's a long run. I have 4 meetings, so it'll take so and so. So that's the way I actually work around it, and it works out. In fact, there are times I'm like, I wish there were 48 hours in a day. It gets busy, but it also keeps me on my toes, and I like this challenge bit. This fighting for time and trying to find time to do everything that I enjoy. So I guess it happens. It just happens. You find a way to do it.
When I started running, I found there was resentment is a strong word, but there was kind of disbelief from people, that wanted to go home early, needed to go home early, and like, no, I'm not going to have another drink. And everybody would say, don't be boring, it's just a run. Now, though, after a few years, and I've got this label as a runner, people are more understanding. They do kind of realize, they get it, that I've got to get up and run. But increasingly, I think running has given me the courage to just like, I just don't care anymore. I just say, no, I'm going home. No, I'm not having a drink. Or like, no, I'm not going. I have to get up early tomorrow morning. So yes, there's, as Swati says, there is a sort of pushback from people. But, in the end, I don't care anymore. I just prioritize my running.
I guess we've all been through this. And even today, I deal with this. A lot of people invite me and they say, so when they say 8 p.m., I am there at 8 p.m. You know what I mean? I am not for Delhi. So, it's Indian standard time, but I guess for Delhiites, it's being fashionably late. So it's Indian stretch time. They know if we say 8 p.m. to Riti, she'll be at our door. And I would have eaten and gone because there's a discipline. I eat before 8 o'clock. So I would have eaten. I'll go have a drink or two. At 9:30, I'm like, okay, guys, I'm going because I have a run the next morning. Some of them hated me initially, but your true friends realize over a period of time that this is my happy, safe space. This is what really matters to me. And, I'm a happier being around them if I'm able to do what actually keeps me happy. So they come around it. Of course, I've lost a few friends. They still pull my leg, but so be it. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure I live around everyone's idiosyncrasies, and we runners are a crazy set of people.
I remember it was one.
At a party, then the two runners are together and we're only yapping running. There's no other topic. It's crazy.
Yeah, I remember a friend of mine, it was her birthday and it was on Saturday. So she said, listen, I know you will not show up on Saturday, so I'm having it on Sunday afternoon, like a sundowner. Okay, so like things like that. So people who really, who mean well, they will make that adjustment. Yes. My brother-in-law was turning 50. They realized that Saturday night I won't show up. So they had it on a Friday night, things like that. So that kind of a change. To those whom you matter, they will make that change.
And
Others,
we'll also make that change for people that matter. So really close friends, exceptions don't make the rule. A one-off, I will party till 4 in the morning, but I'll try and catch a nap in the afternoon that day. So I'll plan my day in such a manner that I get my 2 hours in the afternoon. And then I can obviously not drink crazy because I'm running the next morning, but at least I'm there because it's a special 40th or a 50th. And then come back and I know I'm going to catch a nap again. So, exceptions don't make the rule. We do it for the
I,
people.
I think I think that's what I also need to learn from you, Riti. Moderation, when to stop. I don't know when to stop then.
It's hard, but it's difficult.
I think I am so glad that you guys have such kind of friends because like um I have had crazy experiences. I think the friends I call my friends are people like Swati Di and all these Rajat sir and all these other people from Lalra because um at my age it's very hard for the other kids to understand that I mean Joe, why are you doing this? So like we had a party in Masuri and I was like, okay, guys, you know what? I have a run. I can come there running, and then we can party, and then I can go back. I can come back with you guys. And they're like, Joe, what stupidity is this? You just give us one day, and we can just party and stuff like that. And I remember I was training for 111 kilometers that time, and I was like, okay, fine, I'm not going. I'm not coming. Until date, we don't talk to each other because hey, I ditched you guys because of the plans. And that happens now also because when I meet people of my age, they have something else to do and they don't understand this because I mean I really don't know why they don't understand it. So yeah, it's just like the people like if I'm talking to Swati, I can just relate to her. I this is happening and I want to do this. I'm 21. I seriously don't like drinking and stuff like that. And I've been judged so badly for that, like so badly that I've seriously stopped going out for party and stuff with my friends. I don't have a friend circle in Dehradun, like people of my age. It's just like my mountaineer friends or my skiing friends or something like that. Someone who's like closer to my mom's age or something like that. They'll come home and we'll chill out because
We all are closer to your mom's age.
yeah, yeah, because only they understand it, right? And yeah, I feel blessed actually. I'm not cribbing about it because I think it's because of these people I have kind of started making priorities in my life. I'm not lost. I'm lost as in I don't exactly know what I want to do, but I know that I'm not going in a wrong way. I'm finding my right way, but yeah, I know that I'm not going in the wrong way because I have these people. So yeah, I'm jealous of you guys a little.
And we're jealous because you get to do what you're doing at your age. I didn't even
Exactly.
know it was possible to the extent that you're running at 21.
So I used to stay in West Delhi and I never went out there for a run. I would come all the way to Lodi and run around Amrita Shergill because of the safety issue. And I would always feel that it's safer here because there are many other runners. And this is before I joined a running group and stuff. This is just when I had started off. I had signed up for my first half and I thought, okay, let's train. Everybody runs there. Let's just go show up. So that's how I even started running at Amrita Shergill. And I still go there. My car, that's my spot till date. But I would drive that 25, 30 minutes in the morning, go back, the 20 kilometers. And people would think me to be crazy. They're like, you go all the way 20 kilometers just to run for an hour and come back. And I would tell them, I said, no, the kind of shorts I wear and run, it's not possible. Even out there, even at, there was a time when I was running at 4:30 a.m. at Lodi Road. And this is much before the lockdown. So I'm talking about 4 or 5 years ago. And there was this, I think must be a chowkidar or somebody going on a bicycle. And he passed some comment. Obviously, being the Jat woman that I am, I had to give it back to him. But that's the day I realized that it's not really safe. He could have just gone ahead and probably, I don't know how strong was he, or maybe I was stronger than him. I don't know all that, but it wasn't a pleasant experience. That's the day I learned that, okay, I need to be a part of a running group, not so much for the sake of coaching or something, but just to have company. And that's when I joined this group called Run Extreme. Riti is aware of it, Tarun's group. So I joined them just for the sake so that I have company while running, be it 4:30, be it 6:30 and stuff. So today, when I think of Vrinda, my daughter, when I think of her running, and I do take her for a run sometimes in the evening because 4 o'clock, not every kid is as good as Jyotsna. She refused to wake up at 4 and go for a run with me. So I
I'm
go in the
not
evenings.
good. I've just
So I
started
go,
doing it.
Yes, I take her in the evenings, but again, her safety is a big concern. So I am running at her pace, or probably 50 meters behind her, just keeping an eye on her. Sometimes I'm just walking, she's running, and I'm just walking, keeping an eye because it makes me very uncomfortable. And this I'm talking about Amrita Shergill. Even over there, it makes me very uncomfortable to think that she's going to be running alone. Of course, I need to bring in that confidence in her, so I don't convey this to her. This is just what I feel, so I keep that distance, but I don't tell her that I'm scared and she shouldn't go running alone. I never stop her. And now that I've shifted, earlier, like I said, I was in West Delhi. Now I'm in South Delhi, which is just 5 minutes from Lodi. And one of the main decisions about shifting to South was, oh, I'm only 5 minutes from Lodi now. I'm only 5 minutes from Lodi. My office is close by. So one of the deciding factors. So now, and this is a much safer colony. So after a year here, I've allowed, not allowed, that's the wrong word, but I'm comfortable with Vrinda going for cycling in the evening out here. It's a gated colony, so she cycles for an hour, hour and a half. So I think safety will always be a concern at the back of our minds. Even here, I've told her, if I call, she has to take my call. She can't say that I'm listening to music or my phone was on mute or battery died. Those are not excuses. I mean, that answer will not be taken. The day you do that, you can please pack your cycle for next 3 days, right? So, but like safety is a big concern for her. Forget her, even me. Like we had gone for a long run and we started from Lodi, went to Nehru. And that day I thought, chalo, let's try a new route today. And we went from Leela. So we took the Sarojini Nagar road. So from Leela, we were coming back to Lodi. And that stretch was so uncomfortable, even for a 42-year-old woman like me, right? Everybody was just staring. And my running friend, he's a man, I looked at him and I was like, you're so lucky. Nobody stares at you. I mean, come on, what is it? Is it my waxed legs? What is it? Should I stop waxing? That's the only difference. You're wearing shorts, so am I. Right? But it made me so uncomfortable that I stopped going there then. I mean, I would rather stick to, monotonous, boring routes or find a safer zone. But yeah, safety is a big, big concern, and it makes me uncomfortable to try something new alone without having safe company.
I've seen the worst that could have happened to me, and like Swati is saying that she is like a little bit uncomfortable in like different places. I think I have come to a point in my life where I say that like when my mom is a little scared of it, that why you're going at 4 a.m. in the morning alone. So I've always run with my father. Okay, guys, like the background is I've always run with my father. Right, I've always had him by my side or running behind me because I hate when he talks when I'm running. So I've always had him. And then suddenly he left because he got transferred to my father was in BSF. So like for 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, I had him. Right. We were going to different places. I was exploring new routes with him. He's a runner, so he know all the like old routes in Dehradun and stuff like that. So things have happened when I was with him also, and but at that point of time you have your father, so you know that he can handle it, and you don't think about it too much. But when he left, and I was like, okay, fine, and I didn't finish my triple two. I did 205 kilometers, and I was just dealing with so many things, and I was like, I don't want to run in my life now. I'm done. But at that point of time, you need to start running, and everything was happening, and I've had 4 or 5 very bad cases. The first few cases, I didn't even like try to speak about it because I was like, what can happen? And then I started speaking about it. And now that I've started speaking about it, I've come to this conclusion that Jyotsna, anything can happen to you. Right? You are a woman. You will be going out. Someone will be excited about seeing your boobs, and they'll be like, "Yeah." They'll pass on some comment. You fight back. They'll do something to you. If they won't do anything to you at that point of time, they can come back home, throw acid on your face. You will be running out on the road alone at night. They can rape you and they just throw you, because no matter how strong you are, you cannot compete with 5, 6, 7, 8 boys in Bolero or something like that, right? And right now, even when I like go out for running, and my mom is like, that where are you going? What is the route? Or this is so early or something like that. I just tell her that anything can happen to me, right? Maybe I'm like taking shower in the washroom and I'll just slip. So if this is supposed to happen to me, it will happen to me, and I just don't want you to worry about it. But like listening to Swati, I mean, it's so hard for her because the first time something like that happened to me, I was wearing proper running shorts and someone spanked me and left. And I was so scared to tell her because she always tells me that, Jyotsna, when you're going alone, don't wear your shorts, like just wear a track pant. Why are you like inviting people? And I used to never understand this. And at that point in time, I was seriously crying in. I called my father, and because I couldn't face her, because she always tells me that, you need to be safer, you need to think properly and everything. You cannot be this feminist Jyotsna everywhere. So yeah, it's pretty annoying. It's very annoying, and I don't know when it'll stop. Like today, also I went for a jungle run. It's my favorite route. It's a route where my father and I used to always go for running. I had a 2 hour run, and there were some school kids. I mean, they must be 17, 18, like younger to me. They were like at the stop drinking or smoking, and they were just looking at me like anything. And it was so weird. And it was like I couldn't say anything because they would say like they could have done anything to me. So I just came back and stuff like that. So it really bothers me that if I am putting in so much effort, and when Rajat sir talks about me as a runner, he sees me somewhere like representing my country or doing something for my country. It's very hard for me to relate to both these things. Like I have seriously stopped becoming this like I can say that I'm an anti-national person because right now when I run, I don't see it as if I'm doing it for my country. It's just like I'm doing it for myself because people in my country are stupid. They don't know what I'm doing and they can't support me for that. I mean, just smile at me. Why are you staring at me? What's different? Like, so yeah, it's irritating. I'm sorry, this was so long.
So mostly, so I live in Noida, right? And let me also say this, that there is no city on the planet, I'd say. Okay, we're talking India, so I'll talk India. There's no city in India which is safe to run. I mean, people say Bombay is safer. It could be a shade safer, but it's still, I've heard of incidents with women all through and through, and they're as bad or as gory as they can be in Noida or in Delhi or wherever. But Noida, for some reason, I haven't come around running alone ever. So also, I've just started a running group. So we have 2 sessions in Noida and 2 in Delhi. So, I always run with the community, with people, with a group, or with at least 1 or 2 people. So I'll find people that run my pace, and we run together. But I'm talking about an incident that happened very recently in Nehru Park. I was training for the last marathon that I ran, which was a New York marathon, and it was a long run day. So 4:30 we started our run, and if near gate 1 there's this restroom, the public toilet. So I went to pee, and when I was going to pee, I thought there was something uncanny. I could see a shadow, but I didn't know where the guy was, what was happening. I had no idea. I couldn't see because it's fairly dark. I come out, and there is this gentleman in a uniform. I don't know what it was, CRPF or whatever. I have no idea what it was. Security personnel. And he had a phone in his hand, and I happened to see some light. So I don't know what happened. And I said, maybe he was trying to click me or he was clicking me. And that's what was getting to me when I was going in and out. And, I wear shorts, I wear a singlet. It's peak summer, you're training. You obviously want to be in light, breathable clothes. And obviously, I wear less when I'm running because I want to be comfortable. And thankfully, like I said, I always run with people. So I had Subhash with me, and I called Subhash and I said, you know what? I think he's taken my pictures. So Subhash obviously walked up to the guy and said, "Aapne photo liya hai, madam ka?" He said, "Nahi." So he says, "Koi baat nahi, apna phone dikhaiye." He said, "Nahi, nahi, nahi liya hai." And he was very sheepish about it. Subhash took his phone, went to the gallery, 20 pictures of me. My back, my legs, zoomed in, zoomed out. And he says, "Why were you lying?" So he obviously deleted the pictures. I gave him a mouthful, and I said, "You know what? I can get this vardi off right now. I'm not going to do it, but please don't." I mean, I'm telling you, I've had incidents galore. But, I also say that, you still have to do what you have to do. So I'm always running with people. I'm running in well-lit areas. I'm running opposite traffic. I always have a phone with me. I never have headphones. And somebody will always know where I'm running. So these are things. And see, I can wear a sports bra and run, just a sports bra, because it's hot and I feel really hot, but I wouldn't do it because unfortunately our gentry, our people, our men are not evolved to that extent yet. So I don't want to invite trouble. It's not about the confidence I lack, or it's not about why shouldn't I run and let them have a laugh, but it's like, if I can avoid it because there's anyway enough and more danger to my safety and security, I'm going to keep that one thing at bay. Unless I'm running in a park with 20 other people and I'm certain that, the sports bra will not attract extra attention. I mean, just saying, as a woman, from my experience, of course. So yeah, I've had incidents galore, but that also doesn't stop me from my passion of running. It doesn't stop me from wanting to do what I want to do. But yes, I will not wake up at a 4 a.m. and go out and run alone because of, these incidents that have happened with me throughout the 11 years of running. So I talk about them. I tell people that this is what you should do. And, at times I also carry a pepper spray. I don't know if you girls know that there are these small cans you get, as small as this. So you can actually put the strap in a finger. It's like you're carrying a key with you. That's it. It's this small, and run with that. So of course, I mean, we've got to take care of our safety, and yeah, continue to do what we do. We love doing.
If you, so like, right, I'm training for 100 kilometers, right? And I cannot go at 8 a.m. and then come back. Like, I have to do a 6 hour run, or 8 hour run, or I mean, Rajasthan is telling me to do a 10-hour run. So I cannot leave home at 8, right? And if I'm leaving home at 8, then I really want to wear a sports bra and my shorts. I really don't want to wear those full suits or, those track pants, because they irritate me. And that is what irritates me, because I don't have any option, right? I really need to, I mean, I'll need my sister to cycle with me, or my father to run with me, or any other friend. And I hate doing it, because for me running is very personal thing. I like doing it alone, right? I just love running alone. That's my thing. That is why I ran ADHM and I hated it. I seriously hated it, because there was so many people, and I promised myself that I'm never running a marathon again. I can, if you want to see how well I run a marathon, I can run any day, but I am not running a Mumbai marathon or a Delhi marathon, because it's not my thing, right? I don't like it. One competition in a year, like 100 kilometers, if I'm preparing for it, it's okay. But that is what really irritates me. And I'm so glad that, you so openly talked about these 4G people, because my father is in BSF and I respect it a lot. I respect uniform a lot, and I someday want to be in a uniform, right? This is something I really want to do. But when I was in Khardungla and I was, coming, like I was doing my training run over there, I was running. So we were doing that. And this guy just asked me for a lift. And I was like, yeah, sure, why not? Because, I mean, you're a 4G guy. I mean, I respect it. Yeah. We went down. He said, Madam, abhi yahin par, like, just leave me, just drop me here, and then I'll go back running. I was like, okay. And then he said, Madam, I heard your father talking about you, and we are so excited that you'll be doing this and that, and you'll be running 100 kilometers and stuff like that. Can I have a photo with you? I was like, yeah, sure, why not? And he started taking a selfie in which he tried to kiss me. And, I mean, I'm a person who just like shouts at people and does stuff, and I would have started hitting him or something. But for like few seconds, I was just frozen. The second thing that got into my mind was like, okay, fine, there's so many tourists out here. If I do anything wrong to an army person, it's not him that is, getting affected. It's army that is getting affected. So I just threw his phone like off the cliff, and like crying, I wrote down, and I met my father and was like, this happened. And then he was all angry and stuff, and then went down and talked to people, and with just 3 days before my 111 kilometers. On my race day, I was supposed to cross that pass. I was supposed to see that person. So this was crazy. Now, if you tell me that also you have to start training and you have to start doing this, all these things that will affect me. But you always talk about that. Why aren't girls doing this and that? I mean, can we just talk about the basic things first? Girls are not safe on the road.
And I think calling out is very important. Calling them out, those flashes.
But also take, the calculated risks, because in the end, unfortunately, at the spur of the moment, they can end up doing anything. You know what I mean? So you got to be smart. It's about that, maybe not take action at that point, but find a way to, take action at the right opportunity, depending on the incident. So yeah, of course, don't let them go easy at all. There are no two ways about that. And, I'm a 4G brat too. I hugely respect the uniform. I mean, I'm, be it BSF, CRPF, Army, Navy, Air Force, I salute those guys. But, this is something that is not there or not there because you wear a uniform. It's unfortunate, and I will call out whoever does these things, whether you wear a uniform or you don't. And the sad part is, as she rightly said, the other reason I didn't want to throw a shindy or make a deal about the incident that happened with me was the uniform will get tarnished. You know what I mean? People will talk about the forge, the defense, which is not how it really is, majority. So yeah, but I guess it's hard. But then we must find a way to do what we love doing. I keep saying that. I mean, a city we love, we live
Absolutely.
in, we love, we have to find a way to work around it. The burden of cultural baggage does act as a huge hurdle. I mean, I would say that I've seen it because now I run a running group, and there are lots of women that have joined me, which is awesome. One good thing about the pandemic was that gyms closed, everything shut. So the only easy option for most people, and the benefits of physical activity or cardio is a workout, is a good workout. So a lot of women actually came out to run because of the pandemic, which I think was a huge plus. But I see a lot of women even today who come, so they're regular for 2, 3, 4 days, and then suddenly they'll send me a message on the quiet, of course, not right on the group that we have, and say, Riti, I won't come tomorrow because my in-laws are visiting me for the weekend. And I'm like, so, you know, because the in-laws think the daughter-in-law is supposed to wake up, give them tea, make breakfast, ensure that everybody's happy. It's just that whole expectation that we've built around relationships, unfortunately. Or like I say, if people don't come into running, or women that don't come into running is because they are married, now they must bear children. If they start running, when will they have kids? When are you going to have a child? So it's crazy. But I also feel that we need to break the stereotype. So the more we talk about these issues, the more we go out and run, the more we share our stories on social media, talk to each other, encourage women, I guess slowly and steadily we will come out of where we are today. I would say there's been a change in the last decade, I have seen, but obviously a long way to go still.
I
I think our
think
social conditioning is such, the whole put everybody else before yourself. Our social conditioning is such. And I think that's what we need to. I mean, I'm sure even with Riti and Jyotsna is anyways a kid, she's not seen the world like we have. But but it's not been easy. And I'm sure it wasn't easy even for Riti. It was not easy for me to just kind of say no to something else that the family responsibility, family obligation or a gathering or something, and then to pick up to choose running. So it wasn't easy, but we stuck to it, I guess. She's been running for 11 years. Mine was about 9 years now. So yeah, we stuck to it, and that's the reason we've become independent, because we didn't give up. We nobody's really, like I said, the social conditioning is such that even no matter how independent you are taught to put your other social needs and social obligations ahead of yourself. So somewhere you have to take that call and decide for yourself that no, this is I know I'm a better person when I run, right? I'm a better mother, I'm a better lawyer, I'm a better friend when I run. So let me just take care of that 1 hour, and I can perform those other roles much better, other than just being a frustrated, angry old mother after 20 years, maybe.
I
Right?
think we just need to stop glorifying all the sacrifices that women are making.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Like my
Ab-
mother has just started walking and a little bit of running and strength training, and she anyone will come. Oh, you do this, and then you do work all day. You don't sleep, and then the evening also you're going for a walk. I'm sorry, she is being stupid if she's doing that. You're not supposed
yeah.
to glorify that, and that is what we're doing, right? That, oh, Swati Di is having a kid, she's raising her, and she's not sleeping on time, she's not completing her 8 hours sleep and doing this, and you are working or something like that. We just need to stop doing that.
No, Joe, I am having everything, best of everything. Trust me. I
Right.
have my 6 hours of sleep. I have my 2 beers. I'm very happy where I am. I've balanced it out finally. Yeah, but people find it difficult
Yeah,
to, yeah.
it's weird. Like in my family, my taiji and stuff, and my cousins and all were not allowed to do stuff because they were girls, right? My taiji was always told she's working, then she's coming back home, she's taking care of kids, and all that. I'm sorry, that is her stupidity if she's not taking out time for herself. So let's just stop
Absolutely.
glorifying every sacrifice that women are making out there.
I made it very clear to my daughter. I said, I don't want to be a 60-year-old woman. Sorry, Christine, let me make it 75. I don't want to be 75 and take out my frustration on you that I gave up my dreams, no matter how small they are, and running is a part of it, right? The journey. I changed my journey because of you. Because the moment you add because of you, the burden is passed on to the children to kind of reciprocate, which nobody can. I mean, everybody has a life. How much can we reciprocate, right? So it's unfair to even expect that. So I've made it very clear that I'll keep my life as it is, so that there is no extra burden on you. There is no guilt that I pass on to you, right? So that's the reason I lead this balanced life. I've learned over a period of time. It's not been easy, but I'm glad I'm here.
So, I think one must talk about it. There are lots of women that approach me, and I'm pretty open about it. And everyone's menstrual cycle is different, right? There are people who have a heavy flow. I mean, we all have our, unflows in for everyone, right? At some point in the month, there are people who have bad days, like day 1 and 2 is really bad, and they have cramps. So obviously, I tell them to avoid running on a day, maybe day 1 or day 2, depending on how the body takes it. But otherwise, it depends on the other thing is, I guess, as runners, we also need to uh, evolve. I mean, a lot of us wear sanitary pads, started using sanitary pads when we started our period. Yeah. But I guess over a period of time, we should, as runners, we should have moved on to, or we would have moved on to either the cups that are, because that's something that's eco-friendly also, and it's zero wastage, it's recyclable, all of that, or tampons. That makes life far more easier, is what I tell the girls when they come to me. Also chafing, it takes care of chafing. If you're wearing a pad and running, it gives you very bad chafing.
Absolutely.
But I see no reason why one shouldn't run when you are chumming or when you have your period. I mean, take care of the days that bother you. So it could be day 1 or day 2. But like for some people, the first 2, 3 days are better than the last day. So, it's your body. Take a call. Go easy on those days. But I don't see a reason why one shouldn't. The other thing that one takes care of, or one needs to take care of, is one's diet around that time. Of course, your rest, your diet, your nutrition, extremely important. And as long as you take care of what you use, it's absolutely cool to run on your periods. I mean, people run races. I remember I've run a race when I think it was day 2 of my period, and it was a PR, a half marathon. So it's also in the mind, and it's about starting slowly. I'm not saying go out there and run a race on day 1, right? But you get used to it. You come around it. It's totally doable. It's natural.
Young women.
I think it depends on body to body. Some women almost pass out on day one, right? Like my sister, she almost passes out. I am all right. Like I remember we were doing this 50-kilometer ultra in April, and I was running with this friend of mine, and I just looked at him, and that was my day 2. I said, we can't even do this equally. This is not fair, you know. Why do I have to be dehydrated? Why have to? Obviously, you have to take care of your hydration to another level, and you have to take extra care of your hydration. I feel so. I feel periods are just unfair. That's just not. Yeah, it's just unfair. Like I said, it depends on how painful it is, how your body responds to it. So I'm quite lucky that way that I'm not that bad. Day 1 is bad, but I have done like a half marathon on day 1. I've done a 50K on day 2, but I just managed to do it, and it didn't really bother me. Also because of tampons, I think we don't even realize that you're down, right? So I think that yeah, that's a big change. I feel that we all must incorporate even as runners. It's hygienic. Of course, cups are the best, but otherwise, I think tampons and sanitary pads are. I mean, tampons are far better than sanitary pads. So this is very interesting. I like to come in here. So I have a psychological bladder, I feel. Okay, so I feel before the run or just when I'm starting to run, I need to go and pee. But actually, there is no need to go. But if I don't go, if I don't find one, then I'm very uncomfortable, and I feel my whole concentration is on my bladder. So I have a psychological bladder. So my runs, yes, I do try and incorporate a loo on the route, but that's in Delhi. It's quite convenient, I feel.
Uncanny at my end, so I have a small bladder, which is verified, I have doctors in the family and they say it's a small bladder. So I go every now and then when I'm training. It's amazing that when I run a marathon also, I don't want to pee. I don't even feel the need to pee.
Even before the run, even before the race.
It's crazy. And when I'm
Wow.
training, I want to pee every now and then. And so, the good part is, again, because I'm a trekker and I'm an outdoor person, I'm totally okay with as bad a loo as I find. I'm not saying that's the way it's supposed to be. I'm really thankful that we have the loos that we do now around Nehru Park, Lodi Garden. There are quite a few that are open and usable, I'd say. The other thing is, if it's Western, you squat and pee, you get strong legs.
Yeah.
I mean, I go in for an Indian toilet, so you don't have to touch anything. It's hygienic as it gets. But I'm okay to actually use as dirty a loo if I have to. I'm not saying that's what I want. If I have to, because we're used to trekking, so we go out in the open. And given a choice, unfortunately, Delhi is as open as it is. I'd go behind a bush. I prefer
Yeah,
that. You know, but you've just got to pee if you've got to pee. I mean, there are no two ways about it. If
absolutely.
there's a world, I want to pee, hang in there, I'm coming, pee break, and I just.
No, so I did my mountaineering first race when I was 13. It was because I was this person who needs her toilet. So even if I go to like, my
Oh,
father's friends' places or something like that, I'll be like, okay, let's go back home, let's go back home because I just want my toilet and everything. And then he was like, I am so done with you. Like, you go out for a run, like for 1 hour, then you have to come back, you have to pee, and then again we have to go out. What is this? Okay. Then I went for this course, and for 4 days I was constipated because I
oh,
couldn't use that tent wala toilets and those, they have dug holes and everything. And like, shit, I cannot for 4 days. And after that, like, Jyotsna, you have to go. You cannot do anything about it. And now I'm the person, like, you just tell me, I want to pee, I'll go anywhere. Like, anywhere you tell me, I can do number one, number two, anywhere because I've seen the worst of it now. Like, okay,
oh.
you cannot just wait for everything now. So
I
yeah.
remember I used to be very conscious of. I did this show for Discovery about 6 years ago, off-roading show, and and that was in Ladakh. And the first thing I was worried about is where are the toilets? How will we be on the highway, right? But by the time the show finished and I came back home, I was much more comfortable. I remember the last few days in Ladakh, people would be like, "Ma'am," and there's the army setup, right? So like, "Ma'am, there's a loo here. You want to use?" I said, "No, I'll go 5 minutes later behind one of those, big rocks or something." So I got more comfortable outside, outdoors, than those dirty toilets now. So yeah, I have also come a long way. But this time I went for a trek, and like you said, Joe, tent. You just reminded me of the tent flu. I couldn't use it. I just couldn't. It was so psychological, and thankfully the trek was only 4 days. So finally, I was like, how am I going to survive this? So last day they were asking for advice or tips or something. I'm like, I have a suggestion, but I don't think you can incorporate Western loos out here. So yeah, but I guess we all live and learn. So
I had a
yeah,
15-day course, man. I had no option. Plus, it was a course. I couldn't say that I can't go like. So
yeah.
yeah.
I think we need to discuss one more very important aspect, which is sports bras. I think that is the most underestimated, yeah, sports bra, most underestimated piece of clothing for a workout, because I see so many women, and I'm sure with your experience, Preeti, that as you run a group now, and earlier you were with Adidas, so that is the most ignored part. Nobody wants to talk about it. I've seen women walking with regular bras, and I want to walk up to them and tell them, "Nahin, please wear a sports bra. It's there for a purpose."
Yeah.
Right? Women around Nehru Park will be running, I don't know, going left, right, everywhere. I want to walk up to them and tell them, and for some reason it's just not talked about anywhere. I think Riti, you should do some sort of a big talk on this or something, do
Whoever
what the
I,
importance.
whoever I talk to, and I'm going to talk about it here also, since we talked about the topic, I guess women don't maybe they don't know why really we need a sports bra, and hence, it's not given as much importance. It's the fact that the breast is made up of just the skin and these ligaments, right? The Cooper ligaments, and there is no muscle. And I guess when we run, obviously they bounce, right? There is enough and
Yeah.
more movement or activity. And if they stretch more than 60%, or if there's higher than 60% movement, the ligaments can actually go out of shape, stretch as much that they don't go back to the normal. And hence sagging happens, pain happens, stuff like. So if women understand this, I guess they will take care of the support they need, which is a good sports bra. So, again, education, talking about it. So getting the right sports bra is paramount. Also, running is a high impact sport, and
Right.
especially women who are mothers who've breastfed, who are slightly on the bigger side. I myself am big on my bust, and I'm happy about it, but I take care of it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
so it's about getting the right bra, for sure, the right sports bra.
No, but
And
even these brands, I feel, are not doing enough. There's nobody. I don't know. I till date, I'm struggling to find a good fitting sports bra.
you know what?
Okay, that either they're chaffing and something. I don't know. Either they make it too small, they don't understand that they could be a narrow waist, big cup woman, right?
Yeah, yeah, no, I agree with you. But I think what we lack more than that, I think there also we have evolved to a huge extent, because I've also tried a few brands. So they have come out with a lot of, like, again, it depends on the sport, right? If you're doing yoga or Pilates, you need something that's low or mid support. If you're doing something like running, you need a high impact, full support coverage, full bra, whatever. But what we lack really are women that help you find your size in a store,
Correct,
that
correct,
help
correct.
you size you. So if you go abroad, there will be women that are trained to do that. So, they
Right, right.
around your bust, this has to be so much. You should be able to
Yeah.
put your finger in. You need to
Yes.
adjust the strap here.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. You need to even adjust your breasts when you wear the sports bra.
Right.
Jog inside the trial room to see if it fits you. It has to be slightly snug. You can't take out a sports bra in a jiffy and wear it in a jiffy. It's the wrong size. It has to be a mild struggle. You know what I mean? So we need people to talk about it. We need people at the store to educate women.
Yes.
And I think we'll all do a good job if there are, I mean, the other thing is that we need to be open about it also, to say that, listen, yeah, I've got into sport. I need to invest in two things, a decent shoe and a sports bra.
Absolutely.
So I guess it's extremely, extremely important. So I actually sit down women and tell them why we need a sports bra. I guess once they understand, then, it makes life simpler for them.
Right.
But yeah, hugely underrated topic, but
I
extreme.
remember somebody, so she gave me one and she said, Madam, आपको देख के लग रहा है आ जाएगा. I said, अच्छा, okay, I mean, you're so good at this, so let me try. I tried and it was very tight, extremely, like it was uncomfortable. So I said, no, इतना तो नहीं होगा. Ma'am, then she gave me another size, which was, I don't know, XL or something. And earlier she gave me medium, then she gave me XL. I said, do you have a large? Because I think that's what I need. She said, ma'am, उसको tight करके पहन लीजिएगा. I was like, and this is in Nike Khan Market. So I was like, tight karke pehen lo, what are you talking about, right? So I really feel until date I'm still struggling. I haven't found the right bra in spite of running for 11 years, 10 years now.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so maybe I'll take your advice and go to Adidas is what you told me last time.
Yeah,
You
and
said
also,
they've come out.
you know what? I mean, we don't have these two brands that I love, and I can talk about them openly now. One is Lululemon. They make amazing
Yeah,
sports bras, but again, I would say that, listen, a sports bra is something that you must go into a store
try.
and try. Don't buy them
Yeah.
online. And Victoria's Secret, their sports section does the most amazing sports bras.
Mm.
But whenever you travel, try and buy. I mean, excellent. But yes, very important to have that right sports bra. To be able to even perform better in the sport. Otherwise you have
Absolutely.
to be working double the amount. Because obviously it's not. There's bounce happening there and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's uncomfortable. It's painful.
Right.
I think I am a bit lucky when it comes to all these things, because as I told you that Papa is a coach, and he has read about all these things. So whenever like we go for shopping for sports stuff, and if I get something and I'm very excited about it, so he'll just make me run in my sports bra in my home, right? And he'll ask me that, how is it coming from this point and this point and this point. So I really understand all of that stuff. So I'm very lucky in all these things, and I don't have like major issues when it comes to my sports bras. I am just waiting for the day when I can run in my sports bra. That's pretty fine with me, but yeah, I really want to run on roads in my sports bra someday.
So in Delhi, you can, by the way, Joe, come here. Leave Dehradun.
Yeah,
Come to
that
the
weather,
pollution.
I don't want that weather. Hats off
Well,
to
you
you
got,
guys. You're running
you
there
got,
every day.
it's
God,
crazy.
I cannot.
You win some, you lose some, Joe.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah. It's okay. I can wear a t-shirt here. I can run in my sports bra inside my house. I'll do that.
I've never run in a sports bra on my own in Delhi, ever.
Yeah,
You
I
did it.
wouldn't do that either. I wouldn't, so it's not that I can't do it, but I wouldn't do it by choice. I'll probably do it with 5 people, maybe a lot of men, and in like a secure area that I know. So it's like, my sector park where I know everybody. I'm very, very comfy. It's broad daylight. It's 10 of us, maybe then. And I'll do it willingly abroad. I don't have a problem. I can live like that. I can walk like that. But I won't attract that, extra attention.
Riti, I'll tell you the problem is not really a sports bra. Here, I also feel people like you and me who are 5'9", 5'10", we anyway stand out in the crowd, right? When we are running on the roads in our shorts and those singlets, anyways, we stand out. So And if you run in a sports bra, we're definitely going to be like stand.
Necessarily attracting extra attention. Why would we do that anyway? We're
Yeah,
dealing
but I think if we were 5'1", 5'2", it would have been easier. We would have gone unnoticed then. That's the problem.
Oh God, you guys have wonderful height, and I don't pray for you guys that. Okay, so just flaunt your
I'm
height,
just
flaunt your legs, and
yes, doing
Sorry, I
it.
love your legs. I mean, the moment you wear your shorts and you go out on the roads, I mean, wow.
Another thing is, people
How
think
can
I wear
men stop
shorts.
themselves? Yeah.
No, they better stop themselves. But the other thing is, if I can't cover my legs and run. It starts itching after a kilometer or two. So I have to, no matter how cold it is in Delhi, no matter what, I can't cover my arms. I can't cover my legs. It's just very uncomfortable. So
I can't wear like lowers and everything, even if I'm
yeah, I
at
can't.
in winters also. So like when relatives will come and they're like, "Are you mad? Like, Cooper, say you're wearing sweatshirt and everything, and you're wearing shorts." I'm like, "Yeah, that is what makes me comfortable." Right. So people don't understand that we're not doing any kind of show off. Like, we're just being comfortable. Right.
Naturally hot, Joe.
Swati, you run in shorts in the winter?
Also, yes, always. I can't cover my legs. Even if I do for a warm up, but after that I need to. And Riti also runs in her shorts only. She doesn't cover legs.
Because mostly, yes, but there are times you'll see me in tights also. The day I'm lazy
Yeah,
and I'm like, okay, I don't want to run much, so I take a tights pen.
yeah, okay.
I mean, I love my shorts. There are no two ways about it. I mean, the freedom you have to run in the shorts is incomparable. You feel like a good run in short. I mean, I can never imagine doing a race or an event in tights. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
I can run a one-off in the winters and the tights. So if I'm in a place like Ranikhet or Ladakh or places like those, I will prefer my tights because
Hmm.
it's much cooler. But otherwise, yeah, I love my shorts. I can live in them. I'm wearing one right now also.
I think when I was running my 111 and 222, everyone was wearing 2-3 layers. Okay.
Wow.
And I was just wearing a cotton tight. And after the race, Rajat sir also came to me. He's like, "What were you wearing?" I was like, "Yeah, these cotton tights." He's like, "Are you mad? It was cold." I was like, "I don't feel cold there." Like from the top, I was wearing 3 jackets, and down it was just one like cotton tights from Adidas. So yeah, I think it's all about your comfort. What works for you, you
Yeah.
know?
What works for your skin? Yeah,
Yeah.
that's very important.
Awesome. No, it was lovely seeing you girls and chatting with everyone.
Same
Same.
here. It's been a privilege with the three elites that I know.
Yeah, yeah. You
I
shoot.
love this mutual admiration society. ऐसे ही होना चाहिए. Women that empower women. I like it.